Hi, I'm Ty Sassaman. A few years ago, Ken Robinson stood on a TED stage and talked about the ways that schools are killing creativity in the life of a child. I think that Megan's connection to parents and family is really important. And today I'm going to talk about a project that I did that I think is a way that we can also combat that loss of creativity in schools. I'll do it through a project that I've been doing for a few years. If you could ask everyone you met just one question, what would you ask? In 2006, I drove around the U.S. interviewing hundreds of people with this question. I kind of circumnavigated the entire U.S. It was a great journey. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about America. And interestingly, I learned a lot about myself as a teacher and perspective on education, the process of education. So Jerry Spinelli contributed to this project. He wrote me a postcard. He's the author of Maniac McGee. He also wrote Stargirl, one of my favorite books. And he asked, "What are you?" Which I can't answer. But I can answer, who are you? I'm a teacher. I study teacher leadership. I've been a teacher coach. And I'm a reading specialist at Sky Oaks Elementary in Burnsville Public Schools. I've had a lot of training, formal training in education. But it's the times that I've stepped away from that formal training and put myself out into the world that I've really learned the most. I want to give you an example of that and tie that into a way that we can connect more to creativity. So I did a graduate program studying teacher leadership at Harvard University. It was a really intense program, research-focused, lots and lots of reading. But I found that when I was in that role, I was much more of an analyst than I was connecting to myself as a practitioner. So when I finished that program, I decided I was going to do a project kind of for myself, a question project, one that I didn't know the potential answer to. So, packed up my little red Honda, everything I owned, 2 bikes on top, and I hit the road with that one question. If you could ask everyone you met just one question, what would you ask? I heard from people in Pennsylvania, Nevada, Texas, all over. In Austin, this guy asked, "Do you believe in God? Why?" In San Francisco, this woman asked, "What's the question that you've been waiting for someone to ask you?" In Brooklyn, this guy said, "I love your shirt. Where did you get it?" If you're a rock climber, you'll notice he's in jeans. If you're a photographer, you'll notice that that picture was taken from about 2 feet high, and he's just kicking his leg up. It's a lot of fun. So the project has been a lot of fun. It's been very interesting. But when I came back and entered the school that I was working in, I found that I was full of questions. I was activated. But the school site was not. The teachers there were good-hearted, busy, of course. But their focus was on classroom management, on grading papers. No one was concerned about achieving their highest aims as an educator or becoming that educator that they had dreamed about. I see that as the major problem. And one of the ways that we can fight what Ken Robinson has said is to engage that. So let's look at a quick statistic. Half of teachers leave within 5 years. That to me speaks to a problem in the training. If half of your workforce is leaving in 5 years. So teachers are leaving the profession, and they're not encouraged to seek that burning question themselves through their teacher education programs. For example, I did my own credentialing program in 1999, took classes in curriculum development, classroom management, instructional pedagogy, kind of a program of classes. The goal is to kind of wear a mask of a good teacher, not to delve into your own burning question. And that's where I see my question project becoming something that we could incorporate into teacher education programs. In graduate school, I had the opportunity to take a Friday class with Ted Sizer. He's the author of Horace's Compromise, a book about a kind of indictment of American public high schools. He also started the Coalition of Essential Schools, democratic, really interesting, democratically run schools. He's kind of a giant in school reform. But we had the benefit of just a Friday class with him. It was a little 2-credit class. It was all discussion-based. And every week he would bring a burning question, something for us to talk about. It was a really nice change for me from all of the other academic work that I was doing. So one of these sessions, Ted Sizer asks, can we have a Socratic-style teacher education program? One based on questions? Well, now that I've done my question project, my answer is yes. Everyone from Jean Piaget to John Dewey to Eleanor Duckworth has said we need to inspire more critical explorations in students, critical engagement in their world. Essentially, ask more questions. So what I would like to say today is, why don't we bring that to teacher education programs? Why don't we make answering your burning question or pursuing your burning question a requirement before you step in the classroom? Now, we don't need to start this as cutting it from whole cloth, adding a new thing onto teacher education programs. There's already some artifice that we can kind of co-opt out there. Say, thesis preparation. You might have an advisor to help guide you through your burning question, a committee that you sit to talk about how you're deeply engaged in your own pursuit of what activates you as a teacher. What do you bring to teaching, and what will you bring to the classroom? So there are programs that do this. Prescott College has a great teacher credentialing program that kind of activates this knowledge in people before they go teaching. But Prescott College is only 1,200 students. And I don't know how big that credentialing program is within that school, but I'm sure it's smaller than an intro class at Phoenix University. So we don't need to start this program on a huge scale right this minute, but I wanted to plant that seed. But we can, while we're here, even take a small part in working against Ken Robinson's death of creativity right here, right now. So I would ask you, what is your burning question for the world? That's it.